Oh,
We are live on.
Joyce. Joyce. Joyce.
Joyce?
Joyce.
Yeah,
Please,
Joyce. Mhm.
Yeah, just like it sounds, huh?
Yep.
Or looks.
Mhm. We are live now. We may proceed in the session.
We're live. We have a quorum. Then we're gonna go ahead and start the meeting at 11:11 a.m. Sorry, we're a little late, April 7th. Vanessa, please provide a quick overview of the instructions.
You're holding this meeting in compliance with Brown Act rules relating to telephonic video conference meetings. And some of our committee members are participating in this teleconference. Each teleconference occasion has been identified on the agenda and made available to the public. Our committee members joining us in this teleconference, please use the raise hand feature. We would like to speak. We will call in the order we receive the raise hand. Vice Chair Reese has his hand.
You can still not have if you want.
That's fine.
Can I be? I don't
Tim?
start real fast.
Oh, Tim.
Mr. Reese,
Just a quick thing I noticed. We're streaming live, but I don't see us recording. Are we supposed to record this?
Streaming is fine.
Okay,
please record.
I heard the answer. Thank you.
Got it. Thank you.
So for members of the public that have joined us in person and would like to provide a comment, please fill out a comment card. They are located at the entrance door and submit the card to me. We will call on you when it's your turn to speak. For members of the public that have joined at a teleconsultation and would like to provide a comment, please notify them at present when you would like to provide a comment. Lastly, you may provide a comment for up to 3 minutes. That concludes our meeting instructions. Thank you.
Thank you, Vanessa. If we could all stand for the pledge of allegiance, I'll go ahead and lead us this morning. Got the flag in front of you, all that great stuff. Right hand over your heart, ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Get in. Can you please conduct roll call?
Chair Hepburn,
Present?
Vice Chair Reese,
Here.
Member Chevron,
Here.
Member Lowe,
I'm here.
Ross,
Here.
Member Melendez. Member Sandoval,
Here.
Member Clark. Absent. Member Supervisor Solis,
Present.
and we have 4.
Thank you, Yanin. Appreciate that. Vanessa, are there any public comment requests?
We did not receive any written public comment. Please allow me a moment to begin a raised hand. Okay, if I don't see any hands, we may proceed.
Very good. Vanessa, are there any public comment requests on any of the consent calendar items?
We did not receive any written public comment. Please allow me again to see if there's any raised hands. I don't see any hands, we may proceed.
Any discussion on committee that on the consent calendar? If not, I will request a motion.
So moved.
Yes. Second, Solis.
I think we had
Low.
Lowe. We've had you were first. Supervisor Solis, I think we had Ms. Lowe.
fine.
Okay, thank you. Let's go with Yanin. Roll call, please, or voting. Yes.
Vice Chair Reese,
Yes.
Member Chevron,
Yes.
Member Lowe,
Yes.
Member Moss,
Yes.
Sandoval absent. I'm sorry, Member Melendez absent. Member Sandoval,
Yes.
Member Clark, absent, and Supervisor Solis.
Aye.
And the motion passes. Sorry.
We're good. Thank you. Thank you, Ruth. Appreciate it. Vanessa, any public comment requests on any of the update items?
We did not receive any written public comment. I will allow one member to accomplish members to indicate whether we have any public comment. Let's see, any raised hands, may we proceed?
Thank you. Appreciate that. Director Lai, can you please give an update on the director report and verbal presentation? Active construction projects, sir.
It's just receiving file, and then we'll have the closed session. Okay.
Okay, well, thank you, Chair Hepburn, Vice Chair Reeves, and members of the committee. The director, let the reports in the packet, information, and you received the file. Now, the report provides status update on our major programs and our community outreach efforts. Now, in addition to the projects that's mentioned in the report, I would also like to provide a brief update on two of our other programs. The first one is the Sgv Bus Corridor Transit Project. This project aims to enhance mobility and connectivity across the region by implementing bus rapid transit and transit signal priority systems. The design for the Jumpstart Segment 5 has been completed, and we're currently working to finalize funding agreements. And this is to be followed by a solicitation for construction management consultant and the contractors. The second one is the Sgv SMIP, which stands for Sustainable Multimodal Improvement Project. The project includes the first last mile and the active transportation elements near the transit centers for cities of Azusa, Claremont, Covina, Glendora, Laverne, Pomona, and St. Vitus. We're working very closely with the cities as a partner sponsor for these projects, and the design is currently ongoing. We're actively pursuing also funding to make these projects happen. At this time, we'll open it up for questions before we hand over to the senior PMs for the verbal updates.
Do you have any comments or questions for Director Lai? I think we go ahead and continue. Thank you.
The first one up, 5760.
Morning. So construction continues on the 5760 short term release project. Next slide. So right here, this is the 57 coming from Brea heading towards Pomona. This is northbound 57. That dirt area, what we did is we closed one side of the street. We directed traffic to the left. And what we're doing is we're widening that bridge. So a bridge is built in two segments. What we did is we built the bottom shell, basically like a huge taco shell. And once we completed that, we did it a couple of weeks ago. So now what we're working is on the deck. So we put a bunch of rebar, a bunch of utilities through there. So that pour is scheduled for the end of this month. Once we pour that deck, that gives us a huge construction area because we pretty much finished the grade just north of that, or to the bottom of the picture. In the meantime, we're relocating utilities on Golden Springs Drive. Next slide. This is a little further north of that bridge. That huge vertical cut is retaining the parking lot and the soil behind it. But you can see the walls taking shape. That gives us the area to start building the bridge. So in the next, if you've driven out there, you see this big rig driving these huge piles of steel in the floor. Once we drive those, I think they're about 125, 30-foot piles in the floor. That allows us to build the base for the retaining wall, and they'll start taking shape. But that is the 57 northbound in its future alignment. That cutout next to the hotel, that's going to be the bridge, the column of the bridge for Grand Avenue is going to be there. Next slide. And as we head towards Grand Avenue, we completed a huge milestone. We were able to get Edison to complete their work. We've been fighting for resources ever since the fire. So we've been working weekends and nights over the last couple of days. So they finished a cutover. The only thing left over to do is for us to do the wrecking, which we can probably do it. But as you can see, the grading is starting to take shape. So in the next coming months, we're going to shift traffic towards that new dirted area once we pave it. And that's going to be the new on-ramp for the freeway. Off-ramp, on-ramp. So yeah, Edison's out the way. Hopefully that clears the schedule. And I can take any questions on 5760.
That's
Huge that you
congratulations.
got Edison.
That's a huge
Yeah.
milestone
Yeah.
to
Wow.
agree.
I've noticed a reduction in traffic too a little bit as coming down south into the bowl. And it's not as bad as it used to be. I don't generally jump on because I go through Diamond Bar to spend my money.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Yeah, but honestly, it is It's smooth, not a lot of stoppage. You still have the crazy trucks, which is way too many trucks, but that's just the way it is. But you guys are doing a really good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
It's looking good too, and it's clean. You guys are taking a clean job site.
Yeah, graffiti goes up and we get.
It's gone in
emails
seconds,
from
yeah.
everybody, like, we're
I
on.
look at it,
we're
it's
on.
like, the next day I'm going, hey, that was.
We had a 20-foot long by 8-foot wide, graffiti mural on one of our new walls.
Wow.
And you have to power wash it off. And
Well, they were hitting the maintenance yard. They were hitting that wall like every weekend. It was like, when we were construction, it's like, anyway, you guys are doing a great job. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, looks great.
Hi, Martin Moreno, project manager, Fulton Road, grade separation. Next, please. As you all know, we've been trying to schedule with Union Pacific to schedule the cutover. This picture was taken approximately.
Did you say Union Pacific or Jesus? Just checking.
Well, they showed up. Kind of like waiting for a good note.
Wait, what?
They showed up approximately 30 days ago. It was the weekend of the 8th and 9th of March. This is the work going on. We were able to transition rail traffic from the temporary shoe fly over to the new main lines that were recently constructed. And this is UP doing the work. UP insists on a 30-day seasoning period where they want to make sure that the tracks perform as designed for that 30-day period before they allow us to remove the shoe fly. So we should begin reviewing the shoe fly. 30 days is Wednesday. So go next slide, please. Once again, these are the pictures there. As you can see, this is 99 Ranch Market. This is the shoe fly to the left, and the new tracks to the right that we're sort of extending to the new main lines as you. That's the Nogales Bridge to the top. So that's kind of where it reconnects back to the main line.
Mhm.
Next slide, please. Once again, you can see the new rail traffic on the actual UP bridge. So the way we did it, we built the south half of the bridge first. So there's main line 1 and 2 on the south half of the bridge. Once we remove the shoe fly, we will construct the north half of the UP bridge. We should begin work to remove the shoe fly on Wednesday. Currently, UP's, so in order to try to sort of regain some of the time that we've lost here, we will be doing the removal of the track at night and then the hauling away of the track during the day.
Okay.
And once again, we're doing that to sort of get around a little bit. UP's going to have this moratorium. You can't do any work on their right of ways between 4 a.m. and 11 a.m. So we're trying to do that work at night, remove the tracks off the right of way, and then have the track transported away.
Cause it's off their property now, so
Yeah,
that can be done, so that's allowable.
Exactly. We don't need a flagger at that point in
Got it.
time.
What's your time frame on the digging of the other side? As far as getting everything dug out and starting to put steel and concrete in on the other side?
Condon Johnson, what happens is, see these big piers that are
Mhm.
here, those are probably 72 to 96 inch piers. That work will start on the 15th of next month,
Okay.
May 15th.
Okay.
There's a lot of make ready work. Once you got to get the tracks out of the way, do some make ready work, and then you'll see the big rigs, and they will be basically drilling down. Those are 72 to 72 inch piers that they go down about 100 feet because we have high groundwater in the area.
Mm.
They're like 90 some feet. They're basically 100 feet.
That darn industry feeding into that area. Come yourself.
Somebody needs,
Yeah,
we
somebody-
have completion from SoCal Edison on one project and we have completion, almost completion with UP on another. I mean,
That's pretty good.
that's pretty
That's
good.
pretty darn. We'll take a fire.
Yeah.
And I know of interest to Mayor Moss
Take the
is
positivity
area up on top, the
up there.
North Fullerton and San Jose
Sound-
that intersection.
Right.
We're working with Edison. Edison finally came out to do some of the work. Once again, it's been very difficult
So they're
to,
not done on this one.
well, they actually came out, did their portion of the work.
Okay,
So we can then proceed supplying power to that corner and getting the streetlights
okay,
and traffic signals working.
okay, great.
We anticipate that we should be able to complete that work in the next 60 days.
Okay,
So
I can take that back. As long as I have something to say when some of the businesses in that area, they really just like having an answer.
correct.
They're not so, stringent or some of them are, some of them are, not gonna lie, but knowing what we've been through and sort of explaining those issues. I mean, yeah, they're frustrated, but
At least you can tell them the
They're-
timeframe though. You can
yeah,
tell them,
they
hey,
have a
60
little-
days,
there's a little bit of understanding with it all. Some folks don't care either way, but they just have to understand the process. None of us is happy with how this is.
And I think you'll see a flurry of activity starting Wednesday.
Yeah,
'Cause-
okay, well, that will be very helpful.
Because we will have the shoe fly coming out, we'll have some digging work by the bridge, we'll have Con and Johnson coming in. The utility companies are now gonna come in and do a lot of the utility relocation,
Okay,
because we have to get water, gas, electricity, recycled water, and wastewater.
the more activity that's happening there, then I think the less concern we're gonna have from folks is when everybody's like, why is nothing happening there?
Right.
Correct.
And trying to explain it is just, it's very difficult.
Correct. The moratorium, the moratorium on the shoe fly ends on
Perfect.
Wednesday, and we'll actually start
That's awesome.
Tuesday night.
That's great to know. Thank you.
Next, please. And once again, this is just a shot again of the new rail traffic on the bridge.
Looks good.
So that seasoning period has started.
How'd you get rid of all the traffic?
They told them to wait,
Yeah.
take a photo.
The sheriff back there holding
A
everybody.
selfie, Rose, it's a selfie.
Yeah.
We were out there very early in the morning, but yeah,
Mhm. Beautiful shot.
so I'd be happy to answer any questions anybody may have.
I think you've been great. Any questions? It's nice to see the movement and nice to see that, UPR. God,
Oh, my gosh. Having cooperation from UP is huge. So, and then it took, I don't know if there was a lot of cooperation getting to that point, but once you've gotten there, now we've gotten some.
We're in a
stuff.
better place now, thank God.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Hey everyone, my name is Carrie Imsiang. I'm the PM for the Montebello Boulevard Grade Separation Project. I'm gonna continue on the theme of good news from Edison and UP.
Nice.
We are coming to the
Takers.
tail end of a major milestone with Edison. There's a lot of relocation work that Edison is doing on the project, that Edison needs to do on the project. This is just an aerial shot of one of the typical items of work that they've been doing for the past month. This is a utility, Edison utility vault being lowered, into the ground, and you can see it's transported on one of these flatbed trucks. Crane lifts it up off the truck and down into the ground. Next slide, please. Lee.
Mm.
Carrie, can I go back one slide, please? The first slide. How are the people, considering this construction is in their front yard for a long time? Are they being, I know we're outreach, I saw your outreach stuff and I know you're giving information. How are they
Handling.
handling?
So, it's been quiet. I think people are getting used to the construction in their neighborhood. It doesn't mean that we've stepped back our efforts. We're still there. Maria Cano is still there, every day. In fact, she'll be out there again this week, because we're doing a cutover for one of the water lines, which is gonna require a shut off.
Shut down.
Ooh, how long?
So, like a night. Like,
Well,
24
Just make
hours.
sure it's after shower time, okay, please?
Yeah,
Wait,
we're
24 hours?
we're trying to provide nice porta potties, like the kinds that you see like at a movie set.
I mean, the ones you walk in, they're nice, have air, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
whatever you gotta do, be gentle.
Yeah,
please.
no.
Yeah.
there's-
I have the electeds. We haven't heard anything. I haven't know if Marissa or Director Live, if you've heard anything from the electeds in Montebello. It seems like things are going really well. I just wondered because I'm looking at it going, this has been months and months and months and months and months and,
And if it is quiet, then that is a huge testament to how staff and the outreach and everything is going.
Agreed.
So
Plus the lawns are.
Kudos,
great.
good job.
Look at the lawns.
Yeah, the lawns are great.
Okay, sorry. We just-
Mr. Chair, I have a question. If water is gonna be shut off, are we doing anything to give water bottles or, some kind of perhaps incentive there to help folks out? In addition to the porta potties?
Yeah, because, yeah, that's a good question, Supervisor Solis. Yeah, that's something that probably should look into, is making sure that they have bottled water, or at least a case of
Yeah.
bottled water each, just to get them through a day.
Yeah.
It'd be a nice, just to drop it off. Maybe put our COG logo on the bottle. Not a bad idea.
Cooking or something.
Yeah, just saying, let's brand it,
Yeah.
brand it.
Yes, Supervisor Solis, we can definitely look into that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Good, okay.
Next slide, please. This is retaining wall 1 being constructed right here, being poured, and then off in the distance right here in the top right corner is another retaining wall that's being constructed. This was taken a couple of weeks ago, so there's much more of this wall has been poured as of today. And as you can see, there's a group of people in hard hats and orange vests standing kind of towards the top middle of the picture. That was a tour group that we hosted recently last month. It's the Railway Association of Southern California. They came out to see the progress on the project. They're very, very interested in the project. A lot of the people that attended the tour actually worked on the beginning phases of this project and design. So they're happy to see the project actually coming to fruition. Next slide, please. This is an Edison milestone. This is the jacket bore that's being done. I think I spoke about it last week, where we have an existing overhead line right here on the west side of the intersection. And we are in the middle of relocating this overhead line to an underground position. What you see here, this is the jacking pit where the casing with the auger in the middle is being lowered into the ground, being jacked under the railroad tracks. And the crews that you see up here in the top, that's where the receiving pit is. That's a huge milestone for us. It was, we couldn't proceed with any work until this was done. So we're super excited that this has been done and it was successful. And it was a awesome experience to see it. Is there one more slide even? Yeah. This is the Fleischmann's Vinegar Company. I think I've talked about this before. It's a vinegar manufacturing plant. It's for the company. This is their largest manufacturing plant west of the Mississippi. So we've been very careful with dealing with their spur line. They are served off of this spur line, a Union Pacific spur line that delivers raw materials into their plant. And we successfully completed the realignment of the spur track, along with some improvements to their plant in the form of new fence and a new berm. And this past weekend, you can see some of the work here. This past weekend, Union Pacific completed its cutover, phase 1 cutover of the mainline tracks onto the phase 1 chute line. So we achieved 2 major milestones in the last month with Edison and me. Oh,
It's nice to see UP. Sounds like someone got into their skin and they're actually helping us. Thank goodness. We have new electeds in those categories. So any questions for staff? Oh, Lord, thank you. Thank you, Carrie.
Mr. Chair, I'm sorry.
Yes,
Just a question regarding, operation. When the majority of construction is being done, is it in the morning till like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, or does it go on in the evening? I'm just wondering about noise for the residents.
So Supervisor Solis, on the rail, we also have that Form B restriction that Marty was mentioning, where we can't do any work within
Right.
UP like way between 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. However, outside of the right of way, our normal operating hours are, 7 to 3,
Okay.
Monday through Friday. We have been doing a little bit of work on Saturdays also.
Mm.
And
So no real evening then. That's what I was trying to get at. Yeah. No
no,
real
no
heavy.
evening, unless we did have a few months ago, we did have some evening work that needed to be done because there was a UP requirement for us to do continuous bore. So that could not be avoided, but Maria Cano, our public relations staff, has always been putting out the construction alert notices when necessary.
Right. And then just the last question about dust, and containment of any dust particles, especially the vinegar company. I'm sure they were quite concerned about that. But again, maybe it looks secure, but just wondering also about the households, about the wind that comes down, the downwind that comes down there, and the dust, and how we're maintaining all that with appropriate water, right? To keep
Yes,
dust particles. Yeah.
we still have a water truck that goes along the construction areas. I've seen it myself. They are
Okay.
always out there. Of course, March was a relatively wet month for us,
Mhm.
so that
Yeah,
helped us with dust
that
control.
helps.
But now that it's April, it's looking a little dry out there. But again, our water truck is out there whenever the crews are out there.
Okay. As we get into the warmer days, right? And the
Yes,
Santa Ana winds, so, okay.
yes.
But if you guys got it under control, that's great. Thank you. We're not
The
hearing
water
about
truck
it.
is there on the impact is the entire day. I've seen them.
Supervisor brings up a very good point. We want to make sure it's down to a minimum, especially on these spur track areas. If they're kicked up, that gravel and rock, and that DG makes a mess, especially with our winds that come up every once in a while lately.
For allergy sufferers.
Like you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Leaf. That's a very
Thank
good point.
you.
We'll make sure that they monitor that.
Okay,
Thank
thank you.
All right, good morning. My name is John Che. I'm the project manager for Trimble Canyon. Next slide. We're currently in the utility relocation phase, and progress continues across several key areas. The recycled water line relocation is now on track and targeted to be completed this week, which is a major milestone. Most of the work right now, it's near the north of the tracks, near the San Jose Bridge, so we can start the reconstruction of the San Jose Bridge. We're also currently underway for the temporary construction easement area and the right-of-way area to complete the relocations of the sewer lines, which we're about 40% completed right now. And this is the storm drain line, the new relocated storm drain line. We're about 65% completed. This is about 5 feet by 6 feet long. Next slide. And we implemented the detour signs in anticipation and preparations for the relocation of the San Jose Bridge north of the tracks. So right now we're just closing the area by the tracks, so you cannot cross the tracks, but you can relocate and detour around the track area. I think that's the final updates.
Very good. Any questions for staff? Looks like it's moving along. Thank you.
That's all we have.
That's it?
Yep.
Thank you very much. Good progress. Glad to see UPR is on board again. Finally, thank God. We moved to my report. Early last month, had the opportunity to travel to Washington, D.C., joined by Cpcc Chair, Vice Chair Ed Reese, to advocate on behalf of the COG's legislative priorities and critical funding needs for key regional projects. We held a series of productive meetings with members of Congress and staff from our Sangre Valley delegation, as well with officials from the U.S. Department of Transportation, the House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee. Also, during our visit, we shared updates on the Alameda Corridor East to ACE grade separation program, our vision for ACE Phase 3, and the continued progress of the SR 57 Confluence project. We also were joined by CPC committee members Corey Moss and Becky Shevlin, who are also in DC, a part of the United St. Gabriel Valley effort to demonstrate the strong coordination among our region's transportation agencies, which is very strong. We're also proud to co-host reception with Foothill Transit and the City of Industry with to thank our congressional representatives for the continued support. We had a great dinner and it was well represented. Thank you for our director, Mr. Creeder, and also for industry and also Foothill Transit to put on a great meal. And with our Gil Cisneros was there, Judy Shu sat with us and had dinner along with staff from a number of the senators' offices. So as a competition for the federal resources intensify, staying closely engaged with our decision makers in Washington is very essential. We continue to do that with our San Gabriel Valley priorities top of mind. So it was a very successful trip. Again, thank you to our executive director, Mr. Creeder. I know Steph and Ricky were there also, and it was just it was great. It was a great time, and I think we got a lot of traction out of it.
A lot of work.
A lot of work.
But
It was busy.
Great work.
And the cherry blossoms
we missed them.
blossomed the minute we left.
Yeah.
And DC for once was supposed to be 40 and 50. It was 70,
It was nice.
75. So we were running between the
Some of us
buildings. It was
way
like
overpacked
We're-
because I was
Student-
expected to be freezing.
suit and tie.
Yeah.
and sweating.
Oh, yeah.
But it was.
Did you
it
hear
was-
did you hear the cicadas? I'm just teasing.
No,
No,
no. those
but,
two.
but 3 days later, supervisor, the cherry blossoms bloomed. I couldn't believe it. It was like we missed it by like days.
Yeah.
Days.
That's
but,
been the story of my life so far.
A lot of activity there. So if anybody thinks there's nothing going on in Washington DC, you're greatly.
It was an interesting couple of
Oh,
days.
yeah.
For sure.
The president was flying by multiple times in his motorcade, and we tried to get in to see the vote. No one was leaving the floor to leave that because all the decisions were made.
Congressional floor, yeah.
Congressional floor. No one wanted to leave, so we went and drank. It was
Yeah.
much better. I had tea. Okay, I'm not a lot. Anyway, general counsel's report.
Sure, I told you about this once before, but since Edison came up, and this could affect your cities, and it's gonna certainly affect other agencies up and down the state. So I had told you before that I had represented OCTA in a case against Edison and SoCal Gas, and basically it was over who should pay the cost for relocation to make way for OCTA's streetcar project. And the SoCal Gas and Edison refused to pay for the relocation and stop the project. So we entered into dispute liability agreements with them and said, okay, well, we'll go ahead and front the cost, but we reserve the right to dispute that in court later on once the project was done. And I think I told you the case went to the Ninth Circuit about 2.5 weeks ago. They had petitioned for review by the United States Supreme Court. Supreme Court has denied review. So the case is over. And the big news is that as of last Friday, we received both Southern California Gases and Edison's checks, which totaled about $15 million. So in a lot of these cases, especially when people bring
Congratulations.
I like those zeros.
utility relocations, depending on what the utility's interest is in the street or in private property, sometimes the utility actually has to pay. So that's why sometimes I think Edison or SoCal Gas is somewhat reluctant to do it because they have to pay for it. And it just depends on if they have an easement and the public agency pays, but if they're in by franchise in the city streets, then the utility has to. And I have other clients, as San Bernardino County Transportation Authority is one where we're also asking for reimbursement from.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Great stuff. Congratulations.
Before we go to announcements and members' comments, I just want to thank staff. These consent calendars and all this work and all of our work we're doing on trade separations takes a lot of staff time. And I just want to say thank you for putting this together for us as we just see a micro of it. I truly appreciate
Well, and
all
the
staff.
pictures are really good, and
pictures are great.
especially the screen. I remember back with the portable, the pull down
Oh, yeah.
screen. Yeah.
Well, as Mayor Sandoval and also Councilman Reese and Supervisor Solis, when we have our Gold Line Authority pictures on how we've come so far, and you see the changes so quickly, but they've happened over years. This represents thousands and thousands and thousands of hours, hundreds of thousands of hours of men and women out there working, but also just the fact that these communities that they're impacted, how it blends and it changes, as Becky would attest to. But again, I want to thank staff Director Creeder, and also our partners, that this doesn't happen by a single individual alone. It takes partnerships and years of work and hard work. So thank you all. Appreciate that. Any announcements for member comments or as we move on? That would be no. So we are going to go to closed session. I would ask all members to leave the room except for committee members, general counsel, Director Blag,
Nice seeing you, Tony.
Claudia Moreno, and Marissa Creeder.
Nice to see you, Tony.
That'll make them like the.
I actually,
Okay.
I need something.
You'll be here. You'll be here.
Great job.
Yeah, and that, was that in West Covina? I always get it confused, West Covina. with Co-
Oh my God, yeah.
I see,
Yeah,
And
I
we
know.
had that,
I know.
That
That was like the stressful.
and it
I'm
was-
like,
Like June.
people don't know how much easier to
Fun.
have our own
Have a good
office
day.
for control. Equipment, don't have to bring everything.
Yeah.
And then it's